Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And good evening. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here for CriticalBlast.com, where pop culture gets blasted. Can't say that enough. Can't say it right either. Tonight we are going to look at another Kickstarter. Yes, we're back on a Kickstarter kick. Everybody's moving to Kickstarter lately. I'm going to have to explore this and find out what's going on with this. Normally we're living in the land of Indiegogo. But for tonight, we are going to take a look at Isidora and the Immortal Chains #2. So we've been here before, and this one has already finished the first course. And with us, we have Darth Daddy Lunga. How are you today, sir?
I am doing fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, glad to have you. Always good to meet more people, talk about comics, and check out these goals. You know, you just launched yesterday. This is a fresh baby.
Yeah. It's just a little over 24 hours now. It was at noon, so we're like 30 hours. 30 hours into the campaign, and it was a 38-day campaign. So yeah, we just started.
38. Why 38? What happens in 38 days? Birthday, anniversary, something?
No. It's silly because with Kickstarter you can do 30-day or 60-day, or you can set a specific date for it to end. Okay. And I wanted to end it on a Friday evening to do a Friday stream because most people are available on a Friday evening to watch YouTube and whatever. So I wanted to end it on a Friday evening, so that's why I put it on that date to be a Friday evening. So it ended up being 38 days from the launch
and
date.
You want it to end at like midnight that night, Friday night, or?
Yeah.
What I try to, we do giveaways on our site, and I'm like, if I set it for midnight on this day, does that mean it ends midnight starting that day, or midnight at the end of that day? so I almost always go 11:59 if I can, because I know where that is. Because that would suck to say we're going to end it at midnight, and then it's like you've got all these streams set up for Friday and ended 12 hours ago. So this is the second issue. We had the first issue on. Gosh, how long ago was that?
The campaign was in August, ended in September. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if the campaign was active when I was on, or was it the backer kit store? Because I had a backer kit store going on for like 4 months afterwards. But I think it was when the campaign was active. I think. So sometime between August and September. I
really can't remember, but how much success did you get with that?
It went well. It was fully funded. That one funded at $4,500, and then in the 4 or 5 months after it made another $1,000 on Backer Kit Store.
Excellent. Demand. Keep making money on it as long as you can. Yeah. We got a full chat tonight. We've got Stupendous is out there. Yeah, no, not that one. Yeah, that's me talking in the chat earlier. And Smug Pug, good day, mateys. I'm going to talk to you about some Australian stuff here in a second. Jabba the Hutt's ready to end the stream. We can't end this stream. We're just getting
crack it open.
We're just getting started. Okay, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with drinking on a stream. I wish I had a beer right now. Go to chase the other one I just had before I came home. I told Darth before the show, I stopped at the food truck. I said, give me a BLT and a bottle of water. They gave me this. I'm like, this does not look like a bottle of water, but it is. It's mountain water, and at the bottom of it says, drinking water from the Australian Alps. First of all, there are no Alps in Australia that I'm aware of. No. I'll have to check. And second of all, leave it to the Bogans to put water in something that looks like a beer can, which leads me to think that
I would take a sip, because here's the thing. Australians call beer everything. So water is beer. Soda is beer. It's all beer. just Just keep that in. It's all beer.
It's a beer. I've got also beer.
See, Smoke says we don't have any Alps.
I didn't think there were. I'm sure
mean,
there's some hills, but
80% of the country is like desert. So
do I need like? Did they mean? Okay, this is just like really hard to read. Oh, it's from the Austrian Alps.
Austrian, okay.
Austrian
Wrong country.
Alps. Wrong. Yeah.
We are talking Austria, not Australian.
It's not a beer.
It's an Arnold water.
Oh, it's koala bath water.
Yeah.
No, it's it's not bad though. I needed some water actually. At I don't know. This bar was on a bike trail. There's a lot of mountain biking going on around here, so they put it on the trail, and they're selling bike repair stuff and bike T-shirts and beer. And it's a microbrewery, so I didn't want anything super strong because I had to drive 40 miles to get back home. So I just had a golden, and I was good with that. So when we last saw Isidora, remind us once again, who is Isidora, other than this really, really beautiful looking girl?
Thank you. Isidora, she basically is an immortal. She was born during the time of ancient Rome, right before the eruption of Pompeii. And she was spirited away just before that destruction by the King in Yellow, which comes from the Lovecraft mythos and chambers before it, to be her herald, kind of like Silver Surfer to Galactus. That's why I call this, I always say, this Lovecraftian Dark Heroverse, think Silver Surfer meets Cthulhu meets Constantine kind of deal. She's been his herald for the last 2,000 years, and she's immortal and has lots of power. And she's found a way to separate herself from him now and to try to live life on her own terms and do what she wants. To protect humanity and punish the wicked, and perhaps find her humanity somewhere along the way as well.
It's interesting that separating herself from him still keeps her channeled to whatever powers were powering her.
She has the yellow sign. Just like, you know how Galactus gave Silver Surfer the power cosmic? Mm-hmm. It's a similar thing like that. So as long as she has the yellow sign, she still has the power given to her by him. So that's his sigil, if you will, and it contains the power of the King in Yellow.
Okay.
And she has the immortal chains too. The immortal chains are kind of linked to it. That's what gives her immortality and gives her invulnerability and stuff like that.
Well, you've got some. So do you have new artists on at this time from the last time?
For the cover, yes. The page art is still the same people. Still Alper Geckel on pencils and inks, and Serkan Serkaya on the colors for the page art. The covers, we do got some new people and some old. Jay Espin, who did the logo design, the box art, and the trading cards for issue 1, did the variant A cover, which is like the poster child for this campaign. He did that cover. It's a wraparound. We got Vic King. He did a wraparound cover as well. And to my delight, I managed to get Mark McKenna, who's been an industry professional working for DC and Marvel for the last 35 years. So something like 12,000 pages of art have his inks on it between DC and Marvel to do a special cover for me. And he sent me the original art from it too. And I didn't want to give this away.
You want to put it on screen?
I had to put it on my wall. It's behind me. I'd have to take it off the wall.
Well, yeah, why would you?
But yeah, there you go.
I was looking for the covers on the campaign here, but I get the one cover and then I dive right into the stretch goals. I'm like, well, maybe it's not shown as a big picture, but.
Oh yeah, the stretch goal is a big picture, but if you go down in the tiers, it shows you everything down there. It shows you all pictures. Yeah.
So you get the image of her lounging on her throne of skulls or whatever it is that she's sitting at, throne of bones.
Yeah, that's the King in Yellow there. And he's kind of wrapped around her, and these bunch of bones and the dead souls and stuff like that wrapped around her. So she's in Carcosa here. So Jay kind of if he looks the way the King in Yellow, he made him kind of snaking, that's his head right there on her left, and it snakes around her back, around her, and then it comes up to the forefront of the picture. I
got it now. Yeah, I was not seeing that as a living thing because it's Lovecraftian. Yeah. They're all kind of these.
And it is a wraparound cover. You could see it better too when you look at the full page. Like I have the poster down there. You see a little more of it.
All right.
On 11 by 17.
So we got the A and the B, and then look at the poster. That's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful poster. Jay Espen did a wonderful job. I mean, they all did. Vic King, they all did amazing work on
They're
this.
both they're both wraparound covers, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. The Vic King and the Jay Espen covers are both wraparound.
Very cool.
And there is a fourth cover, that one right there. That was done by an artist on Artists and Clients named Deddy. And that's just a single-sided cover, and that's for the issue 1 and 2 metal book, which is a collection that has 48 pages, has issue 1 and 2, both in there, kind of in a graphic novel kind of format.
Nice. So this would be the one for like a catch-up. If you didn't get number 1,
right,
then just get the double-sized one here.
Because I'm not reprinting issue 1. I wanted to keep that just for the first campaign. I didn't want to have to. I don't want to reprint it. But it's going to be in here. It's going to have all new lettering as well, because the lettering was the one thing I wasn't too happy back. And I had to get some feedback saying some people had a little trouble with the lettering. So I'm getting that all relettered for this. And the other thing too, someone did actually bring this up to me. Some people, it's like for issue 2, you can get the base tier $10. But if you want issue 1 and 2, you got to jump up to this one, which is $40, which is kind of a bigger jump for some people. So I'm actually going to be giving for all tiers. You're going to get the PDF for issue 1 and 2 on any tier that you back. So.
Oh, that's nice. So, if you don't know if you want to get into the big one here, you can try it on PDF and then probably come back and do it as an add-on later. She reminds me, and I don't know that I can't say that she reminds me because, story-wise, not so much. But, seeing her on the cover front and center all the time, the bones, the scantily clad stuff, she looks like she'd fit in really well in the 90s with Lady Death and Chastity and all these other... Vampirella way predates him. She's the queen of the bad girl era of the 90s.
Yeah.
What is that a fair assessment or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't consciously, draw what I wanted to from that, but I was born in '74, so I mean, not the early '90s, late '80s. I grew up in that time. I was a young man and teenager. So yeah, I mean, sure they had some kind of an influence on me. And I gave the artist the idea of what I wanted. But I mean, the original character design did come from Alper. He's the one who did the original concept design for her. And that's what he came up with, and everyone else has gone from that. So yeah, it's work. But you know what? I've noticed a lot of artists right now are highly inspired by that early '90s image kind of comic feel. The people that came out. So a lot of our mainstay independent comic artists are really inspired by that kind of era, if you will.
Well, nostalgia is always what happened 20 years ago. In the 70s, we were watching Happy Days, which was, the 50s. The 90s was 20 years ago.
It was 30 years ago. We're older now.
We're older now. No. 2001. There is no nostalgia for 2001. So we have to give ourselves at least another 5 years. To overlap. And yeah, comics were better in the 90s, and they were way better in the 80s and the 70s when I could read one story in one issue. I don't know. I'm now I've got to give you the big screen again here because I've got to assess the haircut.
Oh yeah, everyone loves the haircut. Don't you know?
I don't mind the haircut at all. I think the haircut looks great. I'm just hoping, you got some wet wipes to, get the Brill cream off the headphones when you're done on your head.
There's no Brill cream. Yeah, that's just it's my natural hair. There's no Brill cream in there.
Natural sheen. Okay.
Yeah, it's a natural sheen. Here, RJ, let me just put it this way. Some men are intimidated by other men that are not afraid to express themselves any way they wish. Let's just put it that way. It's an intimidating. So the easiest thing to do is to ridicule when they're intimidated. So
of course,
it's just how it is.
Of course, it's no quaff, mind you.
I mean, if I wanted to put it all in there, I could make the quaff. But you know what? I'll leave that to the quaff.
You know what? So could I. So could I if I really wanted to. It would take an extraordinary force of will for me to do that.
And I'm up there with you. I don't think you're that much. I mean, I think we're close in age. How old are you, RJ? If you don't mind.
I was born in '67, so I just turned.
Yeah, so you're a little bit older than me then. Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned 54 the 25th last month.
Okay, yeah, I turned 47 in August.
Enjoy it. You're still young, man. So, issue number 2 here are we picking up from like a real heavy cliffhanger, or are we starting like another story? Or
there was a bit of a cliffhanger in issue 1, so it's picking up right off of little like a moment after issue 1. We're picking up right where it left off. I don't have any planned big time skips because this is an arc. You know what I mean? And the arc for this is we're looking at probably 6 to 8 issues to tell the story of this arc, which is basically, for me, it's the season 1, if you will, of the universe. You know what I mean? Like people being introduced to this universe. So this is season 1 that introduced you to this first main character, how the world works, the mechanics of it. And then my plan is to expand this universe out to more characters and more titles and stuff like that as well.
Absolutely. Good. Get a whole house of titles operating in the same universe.
Right.
Speaking of arcs, I had this sitting on my doorstep when I came home tonight.
Ooh, dun 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 dun.
So the 4 movie collection. Yeah, they always put out the 4 movie collection right before the 5th movie comes out.
Yeah.
Or like they did it with Harry Potter. Like, get all 5 movies. I'm like, there's gonna be 7. Why would I not just wait and get one slipcase for everything?
Yeah. So why didn't you wait and get that one?
Well, I didn't wait and get that one because at criticalblast.com, producers send these to us for reviews and promotions.
The clout. Okay, gotcha.
So I'm torn between opening this and getting the digital codes out and watching all 4 movies because I have not seen The Crystal Skull, and I feel happy about that.
Yeah, I was split on The Crystal Skull. I mean, it was fun seeing it again and seeing him again, but something was just wrong about it. It just didn't
all I know is refrigerators.
Yeah. It's not gonna protect you from a nuclear blast.
But
okay.
I might just run a promotion and we might give this away. Not tonight, but maybe on a real future stream. Especially since if I look at there's the front. Now, watch me slowly turn it to the back. What's wrong with this picture?
Why is it upside down?
Exactly. Well, here, let me turn it right side up. There.
I guess it was meant to flip this way
now we
instead
fixed
of.
It.
I think it's meant to flip this way rather than.
Who has ever done that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Flip it over. That's anti-intuitive.
Yeah.
Captain Hipster Spock, you were speaking anathema. He prefers Crystal Skull to the Temple of Doom.
Oh, come on.
Oh, well, then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Last Crusade.
Kalima.
Oh. So, what is happening in this issue? Where are we? What's she gonna do?
Yeah, so we pick up pretty much right where issue 1 left off. Where spoilers, I guess. Well, I won't say anything, but a character appears, which is a big name in the Lovecraft universe, right at the end. To help her out in a tight situation she was in. So last we left her, she managed to free herself from the King in Yellow, like I said. It is on her doling out her own brand of justice, but also seeking to protect the innocent, something she was unable to do with the King in Yellow as his herald. But during the battle with some of Shub-Niggurath's acolytes in issue 1, the human detective Constance Hawbrook managed to grab a hold of the yellow sign and nearly died. She was trying to protect her in the battle with the acolytes, and ISIDORA was in a precarious situation, and that's when this character, the Great Old One, Nyarlathotep, showed up to ISIDORA's shock. And that's where we ended issue 1, and we pick up right after that in issue 2.
So you're bringing in the creeping chaos himself.
Yes, sir. And I'm doing a big twist on, like, one of my, honestly, I gotta tell you, telling this story, one of the biggest inspirations I had to tell this story, or at least not to tell the story, but how the characters interact in the universes. I was really inspired by Lucifer, the way Lucifer was done. Because you take these, in Lucifer, you take these, angelic beings, if you will, from the Bible and stuff, and you make them relatable characters. You give them a little bit more humanity, to give these angels, a little bit of more humanity, even though they have these immense powers, and they have their failings and stuff like that as well. So I kind of tried to play that in here a little bit when it comes to the Great Old Ones. With most of them, I did it to where they have a duality, to where it's like the Great Old One itself is out there in the void of space somewhere in other realities, but they have kind of a duality, which is the same but separate, similar to the Holy Trinity, that's on Earth doing stuff. And those people are fallible just like humans, but they have powers of the Great Old Ones and are linked to the Great Old Ones. Now, Nayar is a little bit different. He doesn't have a duality. It's actually him, but he's kind of like Lucifer. He's been on Earth for a while, and he likes hanging out here.
Okay. Yeah, I just, I'll just let... whatever day it was, they dropped the last half of season 5. I was like, yep, I'm gone. I'm going to be gone for a while. And the only thing I think that really, well, there were some things that bugged me because they kind of got too humanist with it. And I don't know what to talk about without spoiling it for people who haven't watched it, but, worrying about your child being mortal, he's going to die. I'm like, how many mortals have you carried to heaven? They're immortal there. You're not going...
Just to give a little bit of context to that, he was used to his own life, like having limitless potential, and the fact that his son can't have that same potential he has, to him feels like I would give it up so he can have it because he deserves it more than I do.
And I can see the potential thing, but yeah, but when he says he'll have to die, like, yeah, big deal. That's just a doorway. This.
That's what God said. He's like, yeah, it's what happens to mortals.
Yeah, only human beings worry about it. But the thing that really got me was, the whole time we've talked about Lucifer and had the series, and there was a rebellion in heaven. Well, we're thinking this Milton Paradise Lost thing, where hosts and hosts of angels. Mm-hmm. There's only like 8, 9 of them. It was less of a rebellion and more of a bar brawl.
Yeah,
because what
it was. It's a small scale show, so they couldn't have this, hundreds of angels.
They could have CGI'd everybody in.
Yeah, I mean, true. Because he didn't interact with all of them, so I mean, they could have still had him in there. But yeah,
only 2 of them came over. One of them goes back and like, what?
I mean, I read the comic briefly years ago. I didn't really go through the whole thing, so I don't know how closely it sticks to.
Not at all. From episode 1, not at all. There was never a crime-solving devil detective thing. It's in name only. And Lucifer, Mazikeen, pull him from the comics and throw him in a police procedural. That's it.
Gotcha.
There was no Amenadiel. There was no detective. There was none of that. It's typical Hollywood. Take a movie and do something with it.
Right.
Which is why we can probably expect that Sandman will take place on a desert island somewhere. I don't know. I have no idea. Hello. Now that is not the wraparound cover.
No. That's an NSFW poster from issue 1 that Chuck D. Art drew for me for issue 1. That was a special tier in issue 1. It was a $300 tier to get that NSFW poster. But I'm adding it onto here again and packaging it with one of the books, and it's only $100 tier, and you can get that NSFW tier.
Do that, and you can get the original Vic King pencils for his wraparound cover.
That's actually bought already. Someone bought it. It's gone.
Sweet. Never mind. It's gone. Put a big red
X on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found out like 2 hours ago, so I haven't had a chance to update the page yet. But yeah.
The tiers and the stretch goals and the add-ons just keep getting better and better and better. So what's Kingpin doing with Nyarlathotep here?
That is not Nyarlathotep. Again, if you read it, you'll get it more. But basically, at this point, not to do spoilers, but in this panel, coming from the first panel to this one, she's looking up at him in his human form, and because she's servant of the old ones, she can see his true form.
Gotcha.
And that's what that is. It's his true form behind him.
This is aspect and avatar in one visual.
Right.
I gotcha. So what's he doing on Earth? Is he like a crime boss or something?
No. He's just like I said, think Lucifer. If he could have a nightclub, he'd probably own a nightclub. But he's rich. He enjoys the finer things in life. Humans are a big curiosity to him. Which if you've read a lot of things that involve Nyarlathotep, of all the great old ones, he's the most curious when it comes to humanity, and he interacts more with humanity than the other ones do, which are much more aloof and cosmic and don't care about humanity.
He likes humans, and they taste good.
Yeah. So that's why I did them that way. And you said Kingpin, but when I gave it to Alper, I'm getting a little bit of feedback, by the way. Are you hearing that?
I'm
hearing myself. I'm hearing myself come back in.
I've got
But
headphones
yeah,
in, so it's not coming out of my head. Unless my head's hollow and it's echoing back into the mic. It could happen that way.
that's fine. Yeah. When I told Upper what I wanted to look like, I basically sent him a picture of Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch. I'm like, just think Cobra Bubbles.
Okay. That works. So I'm at the bottom of the page. I was looking for stretch goals because I hear you have a stupendous stretch goal.
Yeah, that's not on the page yet because there's a stretch goal already at the very top. That was the first stretch goal is the one that's up there right now. That's if we hit the funding at 3,500. Yeah, that's one thing I hate about
this.
Kickstarter.
Yeah,
like they give you 2 scroll bars, and when
what I hate is when
it doesn't work right.
I'm a mouse reader, so I put my mouse on the thing I want to read, and I'll do this. I'm like, and here in this tier, this
right.
I can't read anything in it. So let's see that first stretch goal. Okay, there it is. Now, whose art is this?
George Peter Gastis, Joe King. I think you're familiar with George. He was on here the other night when he said, "Fuck you, Lunga."
I know How can I ever
we were
forget
on another
that
stream
show?
Watching you when it happened.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
he told me that they were sniping me. DMCAs are on the way.
Yeah. But yeah, George did this one. And there's some updates with this too that I talked about earlier today. Because George is in Canada, and I was talking about it'd be nice if I could have George sign him, but he's in Canada, the logistics of it, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the shipping, I don't know if I want to do all that. But George told me, he's like, listen, I have my printer here. If you want to just print these with him, I'll have him ship it to me. I'll sign them and I'll ship them to you myself.
That's
you can do it. So
good workaround.
Yeah, so this print here is going to be signed and numbered by George.
This is a print. This is not an extra cover. It is a print.
Right. 8 by 10 pinup, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
8 by 10 print. And if we hit the goal, the $3,500 goal, every backer will get one of these prints numbered and signed by George. So that's the first stretch goal at 3,500. The stew thing, that's a $5,000 stretch goal, which I'll be putting up here once we pass the $3,500 mark. But I can show you that.
Show us that.
I think I showed you this with the first campaign, but Jay Espin made those trading cards for the first campaign. And while we were talking on the one stream, Jay was listening, and we were talking about the stuff, and he liked what Sue was having to say, so he's like, you know what? And he popped this into Discord. So we have a Soyadora card.
Soyadora. That is beautiful. Oh, that is hotter than any of the covers you've got out there.
Yes. So we have a Soyadora card, and every backer will get one of these special limited edition Soyadora cards if we hit the $5,000 as a stretch goal.
Oh yeah, well let's hit 5,000. Come on, people! Who does not want a Soyadora stretch card? I will put that with I've got some signed Star Wars cards that that have been signed by Soy Rage, the model for the Soyadora. So it would.
Yeah, I got one of those cards too. It came with the socks. It's nice.
It did. I had a pair of those socks. Wore not even once, because I never wear clothes as soon as I get them. I always wash them once. I put them on for the show, put my feet up, said, look what I got. Took them off, put them in the washer, got it the next morning, took clothes out of the dryer. They weren't there.
What? the dryer machine, the dryer monster ate them?
The dryer monster ate both of them.
There was something else. Again, I haven't had a chance to edit the page because I was I went on Nasser's stream earlier, and then I had dinner, and then I came on here with you.
Isidora socks?
No. But while I was on Nasser's stream, George also contacted me. I don't know if you're familiar with those little puzzles he made, like for Road Drake and stuff. The verses, right?
Yeah.
He's making an Isidora versus Joe King one. That's included. That's going to be part. So all backers are going to get that as well.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so the value here, I'm trying to, keep on add the value, obviously, for your backing. So people who backed it in the first 24 hours are actually getting an 8x10 Samantha Branch cover, which is the logo you have there at the bottom of the page. So you're getting an 8x10 print of that, plus the Isidora pendant. So people in the first 24 hours are getting that with all their backing. So if people who joined from the very beginning already are getting whatever they backed, the 8x10 print of the Samantha Branch cover, the Isidora pendant. And when we hit $3,500, they're going to get the George Gaston print. If we hit 5,000, they're going to get this card. I mean, so the stuff just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking as long as, we keep getting more backers in.
The Samantha Branch cover was the cover to issue number 1, if I recall correctly. And I'm trying to... come on. StreamYard runs a lot slower once you start using it. If I'm not online and I'm like loading up images and videos, this is not the complete thing, because this is me dorking around with it to make it a full screen thing. But yeah, that is so Michael Turner that I'm very glad to hear that that's gonna be a print. So yeah, I want that print, whatever tier that is on.
Yeah, it was in the first 24 hours. You would have got it for free. If you backed in the first 24 hours.
Excuse me.
See why I tell everybody it's important to hop on the campaign early. You got to hop on the campaign early, guys. But since I'm printing it, I will most likely still add it on as an add-on at the end, so people can add it on with backer kit. So
okay, well now I'm going to have to wait until the backer kit is set up.
Yeah. And the backer kit, I love backer kit, but I'll have that set up pretty much right before the campaign ends. So when it goes into people completing their backer, it'll be right there as the add-ons when they check out.
See, backer kit, Kickstarter. I back Kickstarters. I don't mind backing Kickstarters. They annoy me. They annoy me because I pay with PayPal. I'm like, I pick up my phone. Do I have the money? I give it to Kickstarter.
Yeah, you forget,
and then I forget. I see an Indiegogo. I look at my PayPal. Yeah, I have the money, and go get it. And then Kickstarter comes back and says, "Where's the money you told us we could have?" So backer kit takes that aggravation and says, "Hold my beer," and kicks it up a little. I backed a Kickstarter, which I wanted. I wouldn't back it if I didn't want it. Impossible Jones from Carl Kiesel, number 2. So I backed it on the last day. So the Kickstarter said, "Yes, we're taking your money." Got it. I'm like, good. It's gone. Don't have to worry about that. I've paid for this book. Nuh-uh. Once they're ready to deliver, and backer kit says, "Give us your information now. We're ready to go." I'm like, okay, yeah, fill out the form. This is the address I want it to go to. And they're like, "Thank you. Here's how much shipping you owe us." I'm like, "What you talking about, Willis?"
Well, that might have been a mess up because that campaign. Listen, because my experience in working it, I had to fix that immediately. People forget, because when you set up your backer kit, if you've already set up shipping in Kickstarter, you don't add it to backer kit. That person added it to backer kit, and that's why it gave you double shipping. That happened to me literally because it was the first time I used backer kit, and I noticed that on the very first day. The first person that did it, completed the survey, said, "Hey, why am I getting charged twice?" I'm like, "Oh, I contacted backer kit, and we took it off." So yeah, it's all in the setup, how you set it up.
Well, yeah, and I think it's a new setups, new things people get used to. This is a very important message. I wanted to get to this earlier. The Stu is saying this is the crossover no one asked for, but everyone wants. And then because I didn't get to it soon enough, Stu super chatted it, forcing me to read it twice. The crossover no one asked for, but everyone wants, and it's truth in advertising. And thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. That's a new feeling for me, because we just got monetized
congratulations
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, I've got money in there now, and I was like, this is great. And I checked out how it all works, and by April of next year I might get money out of it, because they won't cash it out unless you've got so much. Like,
yeah, you gotta have $100.
Gotta have $100.
$100 in there.
I gotta have $100 before I can tell them what bank to put it in, so they're like just gonna keep it anyway. I was like, I can't tell you how to take it out. I'm like, you're not taking it out anyway. We'll tell you when we're ready to give it to you. Then we'll ask where it goes. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
So what's this pendant though that I'm hearing about? Because I don't have a picture of that. And you said it's not up there yet.
Well, it was, but I took it down because that one's done. But I can pull up a picture here for you. Hold on one second. Let me find it. And
don't tell me we have a Soyadora pendant.
No. It's just an Isidora pendant.
Because I know that George Peter Gatsis would probably be hot on it to print some 3D printed raised image Soyadora pendants. If not Soy Rage challenge coins.
Actually, you know what? Instead of getting a picture, let me just go grab the actual one, because I have them upstairs. If you don't mind me just walking away for a minute.
Go right ahead, and I will I will just continue to read the tiers here while you're gone and let people know what's in it. We'll start at the top, $10 just because you believe in it. Why would you do that when for $10 you can actually get something? So, get a comic book, guys. $10 will get you issue number 2, the variant A, which is the Espen cover. This will be signed by Darth Daddy G.A. Lungaro, and you'll get the PDF copy. And I believe that he has already said that will be PDF 1 and 2 on everything that gets ordered, physical copies. $10 or more also gets you can choose the Vic King cover for this variant. Look, this free domestic shipping. So your $10 is your $10. There's no what's it going to come to when I finally get to the click and pay for this thing. Pledge $10 or more, free domestic shipping within the U.S. So if you're in the United States, you're getting a hell of a deal. And $20 for both of them. 10 plus 10 equals 20. That's just math. Again, I'm guessing that's also still the free shipping domestically.
You know what? I messed up on this one. I didn't type in free shipping there. I should have, but I didn't. And someone already backed it, so I couldn't change it.
Oh well.
But yeah.
It probably, by the time they read the first two, it goes without saying. It's going to be free domestic shipping.
Yeah, I was finalizing this literally because if you remember, my studio is completely different because I remodeled my whole studio. So all last week, I didn't stream. I was just doing all the work and remodeling this studio. And I finished it literally Monday night, and I was done up until 4 o'clock in the morning finalizing the campaign and make sure everything was ready. So I was like sleep deprived at that point, so I missed that little tidbit for that tier. But yeah, here's the pendant.
Oh, let me give you the full enchilada here.
Yeah,
so that is
ISI.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the ISI of her name, ISIDORA. It's just a little pendant that you can get in there. So yeah, this, like I said, people who backed in the first 24 hours got the Samantha Branch print plus this for free, but it's also available as an add-on for $5 if people want the little pendant as well.
Of course. Well, for $5 added on, it's a cool looking pendant. Now it's not a pin. Doesn't have a backer pin on it. It's actually made for a chain.
Right. It has the little loop on there, so you can put like the beaded chain or a necklace, whatever. To
Gotcha. So it can go on a charm bracelet. It can go on your necklace. It can go on your keychain if you want.
Yep. Oh yeah, you could easily put a regular keychain ring on there and put it on the keychain.
Yeah, display it proudly. Make people ask about it, and then show them your ISIDORA comic book. So they go.
There you go.
So if they go looking for it, and they'll have to go to eBay because the campaign will be over by the time you get your pendant.
Right.
Okay, so past the variant 1 and 2 are A and B for issue 2. $20 you can also get the variant A plus the 11x17 print by Espen, which is the wraparound cover, or you can get variant B and the 11x17 wraparound print of that cover.
Since there are wraparound covers, with the cover it's nice. But you have to kind of open the book like this to look at the whole cover. So why not put it on a horizontal print so that people can actually put it up and see the whole thing, and it's all its full glory in one viewing.
So for people trying to track this on fingers and toes, each book is $10 each. Each print is $10 each. So again, 10 plus 10 is 20.
Yep.
That uses all my fingers and toes, so I hope it doesn't get higher than that. But but it does. Okay, 45. Now this gives you 1 and 2 issues, 1 and 2, 48-page metal cover. Now is this the cover we saw down earlier on the left side of the campaign?
Yeah, that was just a graphic that I used to display it because of what it looks like. But Ready Comics does metal. They do metal prints and they do metal covers for the comic books. So I'm doing this as a metal cover, 48-page like kind of graphic novel design for it, and I'm getting it all new lettering for issue 1 done to it.
So I'm hearing a lot of people are doing metal covers, and some of them are doing it after they've consulted with us on what their shipping costs should be. So I'm like, oh god, that's going to throw your costs way out the door.
It's aluminum. They don't really change the weight that much. It's
probably not.
Maybe 6 ounces at most. It's not like it's
If it's enough to throw it over the next pound and into the next rate, and you multiply it by 100 books. Yeah.
But see, me, when I calculate my shipping, if the shipping is, let's say 1.5, I immediately calculate it as 2 pounds.
Always round up.
I don't mess with the to the ounce crap. I always overestimate for that purposely.
And Robert Roberts is telling us if you do get the pendant, you can go on multiple Middle Eastern adventures because the ISI is the Pakistani CIA that created the Taliban, stages terrorism in India, and threatens the Pakistani civilian government with coup. So,
well, it is the first 3 letters of her name, and people call her Izzy, so that's why it's ISI.
Yes. So, it's travel warning is all I can say. But yeah. So and the people who are doing the metal covers I was talking about, they're also talking about like doing just for themselves. I found out after my heart restarted, full metal book, like every single page be metal. But how do they do that? Is it like you got the book and then you get the metal plate and you glue it onto the cover? I mean,
yeah, when it's a metal cover, it's pretty much it's like glued onto the cover. So the cover is metal, but the pages are still paper.
Okay. So, it's not like a blank. I guess it would be a blank cover. It could be a regular cover.
I assume so. It'll probably be a blank cardboard, heavy stock.
It would have to be heavy stock, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. That's glued onto. But even my regular books, I use heavy stock covers. My covers for my for issue 1 and for this are 80-pound Strathmore covers. So, it's a heavy stock too, just for the regular comic book.
Now, this is going to be signed by you as well. So are you going to sign the metal?
I'm signing all of them. Yeah, I'll sign it on the inside.
Okay.
Because even for the first campaign, I might do this for this one. I'm not sure. But like the first campaign, when the people were going through the checkout process, people who got signed covers, I gave them an option to pick if they wanted it on the outside cover or on the inside credit cover. I'll just sign it on the inside.
Yeah, because otherwise you got to get one of those engraving pens and they plug them in and go.
Yeah. I actually have one of those, but no, I wouldn't do that. Well, yeah, just sign it. I'll just sign it on the inside.
My first job, way back in the halcyon days of the mid to late 80s, I worked for a military base, and we had the big computers with the platters, and they had this habit when the disc threw a platter, they kept it. They were the big, looked like a gold record, but a big gold platter, bronze platter. So when somebody retired, they just passed the platter around, and everybody took the engraving pen and signed their name to it, and then they mounted it in a plaque and appreciation for the years of service done.
That was the same one they sent out with what satellite was it? Where Carl Sagan?
Voyager.
Voyager, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
That was my first time doing an engraving pen. It was like,
yeah, and it runs right off. And you can't erase it. If you mess up, you're screwed.
No, you can't. Oh. Ahoy, Captain Wynn! Thanks for coming aboard our show tonight. And if you haven't checked out the comics ship with Ryan Wynn, then you're missing out on a really cool comic book and collectibles show. In fact, he's got Brian Cook is on there from Blastbeat ATX, who is on our show every other Saturday with the with the LCS guys. So Brian is getting around. I've got to ask him if I should. I need to follow up with him. I've already asked him, and he didn't get back. I need to ask him if I need to flip my Action Comics number 9, because I'm seeing that show up on eBay quite a bit now, and I know I have it, and I'm not married to it, so I thought it was cool when I bought it. Yeah, I did that with my. I was in a store in Texas while I was living in a hotel, and everything was in storage, and I walked in and saw Batman Adventures, $340. I'm like, why? I'm like, why? The very first comic book appearance of Harley Quinn. I'm like, I have that book. I will find that book. I will sell that book.
Yeah. I mean, Harley Quinn is gonna keep its value and keep probably going up, but right now with the Suicide Squad coming out, it's gonna probably peak right now. That's a good time to sell it.
I agree. And if the Hollywood comes out and says, hey, yeah, we did get a black director for Superman, but we're not going to get a black Superman, that Action Comics number 9 is going to slide right back down. So time to get rid of it. $50 for that limited Mark McKenna cover. Colored.
That's the colored one. This one is limited to 50 copies, so there's only going to be 50 copies of that.
Okay. Is there going to be a black and white one?
Yes. It's underneath the metal book. I structure my tiers in the order of value, so that's why it's separate. It's from the other one because it's more than it's less. The colored is less than that metal tier you're looking at, but it's more for the other one, so that's why it's listed that way.
Okay, so the 48-page metal book is different from the...
No, it's the same one. Just that one has the metal book plus variant A and B, so it's 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah. Read further, RJ. I only read the headlines and then only the first half. So this is actually a pretty good deal because what we got here, you got $45 plus the 20. Okay, the math is simple, but you would not be on American Pickers because you don't know how to do this bundling discount thing. You know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I put this because what you once you back once, if you want like something else, you have to do another. You have to back again.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I just give it to them so they can, if they want all three, they just only have to back one time.
Well, the way that they're doing add-ons now with both Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I fully predict that within less than a year, maybe 6 months, campaigns are going to be, here's the featured tier, the gift basket, everything's
an add-on,
and then here's the book. If you just want the book, get the book, and then everything's an add-on. It's painful to deal with the CSV file that you get later on, but it can be done because
and two, for me, like there's a balance between too little and too much with tiers. You know what I mean? Where when you see a comic, when you see a campaign that has just one or two tiers, you're kind of like, well, how much do they really have? You know what I mean? But when you see a campaign that has like 20 tiers, you're like overloaded. It's like, wait, there's way too much going on here. What was it? All this stuff?
When people have too many choices, they pick nothing.
Yeah, I've seen Indiegogos that like got 15, 20 tiers. I'm like, whoa, I don't even know which one I want here. You know what I mean? It's like, this is ridiculous. There's way too many. So I like this nice middle of the road, just, under 10 tiers, that 6 to 8, kind of feel. And I feel that's a sweet spot, for people. So
we have another very, very important message here that we need to display.
Damn you, Lunga.
I will have my revenge. Thank you, George Peter Gatsis, who drew this beautiful looking cover here.
For those of you that don't know, George is my nemesis. We will rage until the end of time.
Have an arch nemesis?
Arch nemesis, constantly in battle till the end of time.
There can be only one.
But obviously working together. It's Magneto and Professor X. It's
that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want, Kryptonian? Yep. Luther, I need your help.
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of things. Thank you very much for the $2 Monopoly money, George. It's Canadian money.
Yes, yeah.
I appreciate it if it's a quarter. No one ever has to do that, and always happy for people to lets me know you're watching the show and that you're liking what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
and just to clarify, because I think Ryan, the gaseous image you see here is not a cover; it's a print.
Yes. Yes.
That one's just a print.
That's said cover.
That's a stretch goal. Yeah, that's a stretch goal. That's a print. If once we hit 3,500, everybody gets 8x10 of that print.
Right. $35. $35. Everyone gets that print. Boy, how many beers did I have before I started this show? You know what? Let's take a movie break because you've got a video here, and I have not played it.
I was very proud of this trailer. So yeah.
Well, then let's give it its all.
My name is Isidora, and I am 2,000 years old. I know what you're thinking. Not bad looking for 2 millennia. Well, let's just say a youthful appearance at my age comes at a price, and I don't mean plastic surgeon and Botox. The universe is not what you may think. It is full of monsters, the stuff of nightmares. All-powerful entities that sleep in the distant void of space and reality. Many slumbering. They are called the Great Old Ones. One of these entities, Hasser and his duality, the King in Blue, are who I must thank for my immortality. I also curse them for it. The King took me from my home in Pompeii and certain doom, just as Mount Vesuvius was erupting. He took me to dim, lost Carcosa. Here he gifted me with the immortal chains, giving me everlasting life and youth. I was to become his herald, keeper of his yellow sign, tasked to find souls to enrapture, souls to trap forever in Carcosa to feed him and his duality, Hastur. For the last 2,000 years, I did this. Even more years as reckoned in the Hyades. Never aging, never dying, never free. Until recently, I found a way to place the king in a restful slumber. Now I do as I please. I return to Earth when Carcosa, on Lake Halys shores, mirrors a great city of man. When the veil lifts briefly, and the shadows of man's thoughts lengthen in the afternoon. I come to punish the wicked, but also to save the innocent. This was my world once. Time to become part of it again. Time to find the one responsible for the eruption of Vesuvius that started all this. Oh, you thought that was just an everyday natural disaster. As I said, monsters are real.
Whew, your frame rate was suffering there.
I'm telling you, I'm watching it, happening there. And I'm like, I've got an 11 mega whatever thing upload speed. I check it all the time. In 2 weeks, I'm going to have a cable long enough to run straight into the router, and we'll see. StreamYard says, yeah, even with 11, even if as long as you're wireless, then the frame rate will suffer. And if plugging straight in doesn't fix it, then it's the processor on the computer. And what I'll do is I'll just start stealing everybody's videos before we go on live, and I'll upload it. Upload it
with
to the
StreamYard.
site.
You can do it right.
Run it from there. What's even worse is if you use the share video option instead of the share screen.
Yeah,
it's even worse playing a video that way. So, yeah. So yes, thank you, Heroinberg. He's our wrench in the chat here. He is providing the link to the Kickstarter for people who have not read the description. But if you're watching it on the replay and the chat is not replaying, sometimes it doesn't. Settings get
it takes a little while too. Sometimes YouTube takes 24 hours sometimes for the chat to show up.
Yeah. Well, the description will have it right below there, so you can always click on that short little link, and it will take you right to it. Dobro jutro. I did not. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Dave kopia sometime. You and I.
Polish.
Russian.
Okay.
Yeah. Spasibo. Glad to have you here. So yeah, Ryan, that trailer was fantastic. If you go to the site and watch it again on your own Wi-Fi, it'll be a little smoother.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That's not the quality I uploaded it
at. And you are at, I don't. Here's the other thing I'm going to start doing, because Kickstarter auto refreshes. Yeah. and I can't do my drum roll, please, and refresh the screen and then get disappointed. So I have no idea if anybody's back tonight or not.
I don't think it has yet. It hasn't moved.
Yep. But it has not moved. 49 backers.
Like
37 days to go. 49 backers.
But I'm so proud of that. I mean, we're, like I said, not even a day and a half, and we're already almost fully funded. And
you're at 68% according to the end of the video screen here that's still up. So, yeah, everybody. This is a fun book. Get the double book, add on the pendant, get this thing up to $5,000 so that you can get your. Can you share that again? Because Ryan wasn't here to see. Ryan, if you love that pinup, you're going to just absolutely fall in love with this beautiful, gorgeous trading card of Soyadora, featuring this is the Soy Rage cosplay edition. Soyadora, it's a trading card. You got to get to 5,000 though.
Yeah,
you're almost halfway there. It's like, where are we at?
Paid a lot of money. He paid a lot of money for those for the memories there. Soy Rage spent a lot of money on that, guys. He spent
right now we can only pay for one of them, and we can't have him being lopsided like that. They've got to come in pairs. So
Yeah.
We're at 2,300. You know, oh, we're halfway there.
Whoa!
Living on a prayer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
so
we're halfway there. And everybody who backs it, once we get to 5,000,
Yes, I
will
am.
get this card. So, yeah, it's an amazing deal.
Yes, I do. All right. Sorry, I had
No, it's okay. I understand.
But we are actually closing down on the hour anyway. So, is there anything that I should have brought up about Isidora that we don't know yet that we should know? Or are you saving that for spoilers?
Yeah, no. I think we hit on everything. Like I said, right now, guys, if you back in now, if we hit that $3,500, everybody's going to get that George Peter Gassis print, which is going to be signed by George himself and numbered. At 5,000, you're going to get this card, and after that, and probably even before that, I want to have other stretch goals too. I have more planned for. There's more cards being made because, like I said, the first issue there was 3 collector's cards, and there's 3 more being made for that Jay's working on for this issue, and so I really want to get those out to people too. But they're stretch goals, so we got to hit certain amounts. And again, the thing is, guys, if you don't have the money to jump in on it, or you can only afford just, you'd say, the $10 tier, sharing it and putting it in front of eyes of people that love comics and love independent comics and want to support creators is just as important as your dollars in your backing. So that's one of the most important things, is just putting it out there for people to see, sharing it and putting it in front of people's eyes.
Absolutely. And speaking of putting it out in front of people's eyes, I've been asked to host the last hour, which will probably be the last 2 hours of CromCon
Nice.
for Pops Van Zant on Sunday, June 27th. That will be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking for people to take with me into this panel. So if you'd like to bring Isidora over there, we can go ahead and schedule that now, and I will write you right in there.
Certainly. Let me get my pen. What day is that? Sunday what?
Sunday the 27th.
27th. At what time?
It'll be 9 Eastern.
9 Eastern. Okay.
So you will be there with Marcel Dupree. I've already got him written down. This is the last time I did this. I waited till the day before. I'm like, oh crap, I got to bring people with me. Now I'm like, why don't I just ask them while they're on the show, put them on the spot, and guarantee I've got bring a crowd with me next time.
Yeah, I'll definitely come with. That's no problem. I got it down. I'll put it in my calendar.
All right. Well, Darth, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight. Do appreciate it. If there's
one last thing. You said there's another thing.
Yes.
My girlfriend, Marie, is actually, we got all the stuff together and we're building. She's actually going to be cosplaying Isidora, and it'll probably be on my stream this weekend at the Great Council. And I'll have my girlfriend here cosplaying as Isidora.
Will she do at least as good a job as Soy Rage does cosplaying Isidora here?
It's a tough sell. But I think she can manage it.
That'll be cool though. I mean, to see a costume of a character you created. Wait a second. What's this? We're getting.
Oh, we got an update?
We're getting an update. My page hasn't reloaded yet. Still has 37 days to go. Nothing updated. Oh wait, that one wouldn't update, would it?
I still see 49. I still see 49, Stu.
Yeah,
I refreshed it a few times. I still see.
Yeah, 49. I refreshed too. Stu, I don't know. Somebody saw it go up and they refunded. That's what it was. They refunded on us. Okay, well, that being said, Darth, thank you so much for bringing Isidora on the show.
No problem.
Everybody go over to Darth's channel this weekend and, drool over his girlfriend wearing the immortal chains, because I'm sure that feels real good. Yeah, she's mine. You can do that. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Super chats, super appreciate that. I try not to ask and beg for that stuff because I'm going to be doing this anyway. But thank you. Like and share the video. Not for me. Get this out in front of people's eyes. We always share the videos for our guests so we can get their books out to more people and increase their sales. And as always, man, we just hope that we came here and